No. 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 I think we can do without the crack pipe. Oh, hi!
Everybody, you're just in time to see the revisions I've been making to MechWarrior Destiny. If you have any gripes with Destiny's skill division, combat system, or experience distribution, you'll want to hear this. Let's get right into it with skill changes. So, virtually everyone who's read through the skills list in Destiny would agree that the Reflexes attribute is a must-have for almost every character archetype other than, say, a civilian scientist who spends their life in a lab. It's okay if an attribute is strong. Most tabletop games end up with at least one stat being less relied upon than others, but when one attribute is damn near required, it limits variability in character builds, and I've always found variation and customization to be a core part of the fun of tabletop games. Even after this revamp, Reflexes continues to be a beast. It'll stay a core stat for sharpshooter or assassin types, and for most mech warriors. Still, I've at least given my players more reasons not to dump everything they have into Reflexes and its related skills immediately. I won't list all the changes here, but the main thing to know is that piloting is now a willpower skill. I went back and forth on where else I could move it away from Reflexes, but I kept coming back to the idea that piloting can be a sheer test of will more than any of the alternatives. You don't have to be smart, strong, or charming in order to not freak out halfway through intentionally drifting a hover tank around the end of a city block and heading straight towards enemy fire. You just need willpower. One way I've balanced other attributes is by giving bonuses to initiative based on intelligence and willpower when the rolled initiative option is being used. Also, a small handful of additional skills were moved to willpower. As you might have picked up on, I've associated willpower with skills you need to be in the zone for. Will all this be enough to overcome the reflex meta? I'm honestly not sure. For any wonderful folks out there who want to try this out, you'll need the original MWD book to apply these changes to. My release is not a copy of the book, just errata and add-ons. From both my players and any brave testers out there who want to try out the free document linked below, I'm looking forward to the feedback. Hit me up in the comments or on Discord about it anytime. Now for the part I customized the most, personal combat. The default theater of the mind style of combat system in MechWarrior Destiny has its advantages for telling a story with maximum flexibility. I decided to add a tactical feel and give a more direct visualization to combat, plus make it a little easier to plug into virtual tabletops. I've opted to create a movement and range system that loosely borrows a few ideas from this little tabletop game you may have heard of called Dungeons & Dragons. Combat in Sins Unearthed and my free rule set will take place on a grid of 5-foot squares. The GM can designate areas as rough terrain, which doubles movement cost, and it's still up to GM discretion for special situations such as climbing or swimming. Movement speed is stated in number of squares and is the total of a character's raw strength and reflexes scores. Now I know I just spent a whole section sucking the life out of Reflexes, but I had trouble imagining any other attribute directly making you faster. I'm hoping this balances out in the end, but would love to revisit the idea after some more playtesting. I've also decided to define Destiny's weapon range brackets of close, near, and far by using numbers of squares. Melee range is just the squares immediately around you, close weapons range is 2 squares, near is 10 squares, and far is 50 squares. In addition, certain weapons seemed like they can go much farther, so I've added another range bracket called Extreme, a callback to tactical operations, at 100 squares. There's one more change I've made, which is admittedly small but should have an impact over the course of a whole campaign. I'm calling it the JRPG style experience split. As a slight modification to the rules in the earning battle XP part of the tabletop integration section, kills are never awarded individually and the total experience for all collective actions is split across the team at the end of the battle. Any leftover points after an even split go to the least experienced member, or whoever the party collectively feels needs or deserves it the most. And that's all I've got for now. Thanks for sticking around to see what Sins Unearthed will be featuring, and even more thanks to anyone who wants to try out what I think I'll be calling Advanced MWD. Yet another homage to D&D. Just let me know how it goes either in my Discord linked below, or in the comments, or in my streams Sunday afternoons and Tuesday and Thursday nights. Enjoy.